Hey everyone, my name is Preston Clark. I'm the CEO and co-founder of SimpleDocs. We're the company behind AutoNDA. If you're watching this video, you've probably taken a hard look at OneNDA as a global standard to adopt within your organization. And if you've gotten this far, you're probably also interested in automating a standard like OneNDA, or maybe your own template, because you're looking at a quantity or a volume of outbound NDAs that warrant some efficiency gains. And I'm going to show you how to use AutoNDA for that purpose today. There is a free version available. Hopefully you have access to it already. If you don't, you can go to simpledocs.com/sign up. That's SIGN-up, create your account. Once you do that, you'll be immediately into the platform. And the purpose of today is I'm going to show you how to start testing it out. SimpleDocs is more than NDA automation. We automate other contract types. We are a full CLM. We have AI-powered contract review. I'm not going to tell you about these things today, but if you're curious about the full expansive services we offer, please send us a note or visit our website at simpledocs.com. Okay, let us jump in now to AutoNDA. As I mentioned, you're going to go ahead and create your free account, simpledocs.com/sign up. You will then enter a page that looks like the one that I have here. Let me orient you quickly. You have insights, requests, workflows, playbooks, repository, settings, and notifications. For our purposes today, what matters the most is workflows. This is how you set up and start testing your NDA template, your NDA automation. You're going to be able to give this to your sales teams. You're going to be able to give this to your other members of the legal team. We even have a counterparty initiated version, so you can send a link directly to a counterparty instead of attaching a Word document so that they can initiate the process themselves. So I'm going to show you how to set that up. To get started though, our goal is to accelerate speed or time to signature. So we want your NDA process to be faster, and we want it to be measurably faster. So when you start using AutoNDA, you will have access to the Insights dashboard. You can look at month, last 6 months, all time. It's going to show you a breakdown of speed to signature by days. Ideally, your number is below 1. You're at 0.5, 0.4. That's our average for our customers. You'll see total number of requests, and you'll see completed. You'll also be able to have some visibility into where bottlenecks may be emerging, if NDAs are getting held up internally on your side or externally with the counterparty. Okay, let's jump into workflows. As I mentioned, this is your starting point. There's 2 types of workflows. There's a counterparty initiated version. This is called Simple Form. If you do a high volume of NDAs that are negotiated infrequently, where you have lots of leverage, and where you have business teams that are sending them out personally in high volume, I encourage you to take a look at Simple Form. The standard version is an internally initiated version. So the sales team would complete the information, and then the platform would send out the request. Both of them are very popular. Both have their proper use case, and I think you will know which is the right one for you. But I'm going to show you them both so you can make that decision. So Simple Form and the standard just require some basic configuration. If you're already familiar with OneNDA, you'll put in your variables, purpose, jurisdiction, confidentiality period. These now become locked as a part of your workflow. You will then input the approvers, if any. So if you have a legal approver, and then your signer. We do accommodate multiple signers if you have different divisions or different teams that roll up to different leaders who will be signing. These are advanced features that we can tell you more about. Approvers is relevant if you have the ability for the counterparty to propose changes, which we recommend. The way OneNDA is set up is that the counterparty can propose changes to the OneNDA variables, term, jurisdiction, confidentiality period. And you can also inject yourself in the middle of the process. We don't recommend this, but this would mean that before an NDA goes out to the counterparty, that you would review it, or someone on the legal team would review it. We don't recommend this type of approval process, but you can certainly set that up if you want. There's some advanced settings that you can also toggle with. You don't need to do this for testing purposes, but you're welcome to look at it, and you're certainly welcome to play around with it. These are advanced features in terms of what the counterparty can do, what the requester can do. There's reminders. There's expiration if the agreement isn't signed within a reasonable period of time. These are all things that are also available. Once this is set up, now your workflow is live. You could have 10 workflows. You could have 20. For our purposes today, we have one standard and one simple form. I'm going to show you what simple form looks like. I'm going to open a separate tab here. I'm going to load it up. What you're seeing here is, imagine your business logo. This language is customizable. You'll have your agreement type up top. And this is what you're going to send directly to a counterparty. So your business teams would have this link. They may have an email template that you give them, or they can create one on their own. Hi, Bob. Excited to explore this partnership with you. Please click here to initiate our NDA process. So this is replacing your traditional model, presumably, which is to attach a Word document, which elongates your process, right? Because now they have to download the attachment. They're going to input their information. They're going to review the document. These things seem minor, but in aggregate, as you well know, they tend to turn something that should otherwise take a few minutes potentially into several days. So by giving this form, they're completing their specific business information. They're hitting submit, and the document will be immediately routed for review and for signature. So they don't have to sign it when they receive it, but they're invited to sign it. And if you're in a setting where you say somewhere between 80 and 90% of your NDAs are signed without modification, this is going to save you an absolute ton of time. When the counterparty clicks on the NDA, so they've completed the form, it's being routed for review, this is what they're going to see. In this case, we're using the one NDA standard. So you see the badge, you see some description of what one NDA is. If we're not using the one NDA, if you have a custom template, this will be a custom message from you. But let's now go into the document. Now, this is an important duality. If you're used to an e-sign tool like DocuSign, which we integrate with, but if you're used to an e-sign tool, we think in terms of either we're redlining back and forth via email, or we're sending an envelope for signature. And what Simple Docs does is it bridges those together. And so it gives the counterparty the ability to sign right here. As you can see, I could click this. It'll ask me to fill in some fields. I'll go ahead and do this. CEO, put in an address. Okay, now I'm going to go save changes. Now it is ready for signature. You can see the e-sign tool take shape. I'm not going to run through this process now, but I have the ability to immediately sign. Now, if I don't sign, because I don't agree with some of the variables, I can propose changes. And again, this is the counterparty experience. And so I may say, I don't like 18 months. I like 4 years. So I'll switch that. I don't want Washington. I want Vermont. Or it could be a different country. It could be UK and England and Wales. But for now, I'm going to hit send changes. And so now it is going back to the sender. So back to the business. And I'm going to go look this up. So I'm going to go to my requests tab. I see just now, November 1st, that's today, that this has come in. I see that we've proposed 4 years instead of 18 months, and went in Vermont instead of Washington. And you know what? I'm okay with this. So I'm going to go ahead and hit approve and send. And now it goes back to the editor, to the counterparty who is going to be offered to sign, because now we have a meeting of the minds. We've agreed on the changes. And this change is now in the activity feed of this document. So when this is ultimately signed and goes to the repository, we will see this history within the document. So if everyone wants to know why it is we approved Vermont or whatever it is, we'll know who made their approval and when that happened. Okay. A couple more things. From a settings perspective, you can add users manually. So if you want to add a legal admin or someone else, you can do so. But we are an unlimited access platform. So we don't charge per seat, which means that you can use either single sign-on or what we call Simple Link, which enables you to share access to Simple Docs to anyone in the organization to generate a request. They don't have to create an account. They don't have to go through any training or onboarding process. It's a very, very easy, they just need to confirm that their email is associated with your organization. But if you want to add users, you can do that here. You might be adding a legal admin or someone else on the business team. You might be adding a signer. The admin roles must be added as you might expect. Those ones don't just use single sign-on. You can add additional companies. So if you have divisions, if you're a large multinational, or if you have just different business units that have different templates or different signers or different jurisdictions, each of those can be set up separately. There's advanced repository rules for who has access to what, so you're not exposing NDAs or other contract types to people within the organization who shouldn't see them. And then, of course, we have integrations. The eSign integration is built in, so within seconds you can integrate with DocuSign, Dropbox Sign, or Adobe Sign. And then we have more advanced integrations like Salesforce or Slack or HubSpot that go deeper and have two-way data passing. And we can share more information about that if you're interested. The repositories, the last thing I'm going to show you, once an agreement is signed, you'll be able to, of course, access and download the document. You can go to the review page and see all the metadata of what were the key terms of the deal, whether or not there was any negotiation history. In this case, it looks like there was a change from 3 years to 5, from a jurisdiction or governing law from Washington to Texas. So all of this information lives here. You can download the agreement. Something else that you can do, of course, a new feature is you can set alerts. We can do this both automatically using AI, or you can do this manually. So if I want to know, or if I want to be notified before an agreement expires, I can set it up to automatically send an email 30 days before. And I can do this at the group level. So if it doesn't have to be just coming to me, it could be the legal team, it could be your legal at companyname.com domain, whatever it may be. But this will allow you to make sure that the key dates are not missed. I will pause there. I think that that's a good intro. If you have questions, obviously you can email us at support at simpledocs.com. You can email me directly at preston@simpledocs.com. Always love questions and feedback. We're SOC 2 compliant. We're GDPR compliant. Our servers are hosted on AWS Ireland. We serve publicly traded companies, pharmaceutical manufacturing companies in the US, in the Middle East, in Asia. We serve the world. And so if you're interested in learning more, would like to run a proper due diligence process, if you have your own demos, or your own templates that you'd like to see in a demo environment, we can set that up for you. Just email us, let us know, or go to simpledocs.com, press the demo button, and someone from our sales team will reach out to you. Hopefully that was a sufficient intro. If you have more questions, obviously let us know. Thanks so much.